Good morning, members. I call this Ways and Means meeting to order. We have a quorum to conduct today's hearing with regards to the mayor's submittal, the mayor of Rota. Thank you, Mayor, for making yourself present today, and I know you have a busy schedule. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And with that, members, can I get a motion to adopt today's agenda? There has been motion discussion.
Ready.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. And once again, thank you, everyone for being here. We move along to public comment. Is there anyone in the gallery would like to make comments with regards to the mayor's submittal? Being there's none, before us, we have Mayor Aubrey, the island of Rota. Thank you for being here again. And with that, Mayor, I'm gonna offer you the floor for your opening statement. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Haffaday. Again, good morning to Honorable Chairman and members of this distinguished body. For the record, my name is Aubrey Hochuk, Mayor for the Municipality of Rota. And with me, I have my Chief of Staff, Dean Maglonia, and my Budget Officer, Mr. Josh Calvo. And on behalf of the people of Rota, we would like to welcome you to our island, and we extend our sincerest gratitude and appreciation for your presence here as we present our budget requests and answer any questions you may have for all the respective offices here on our beautiful island of Rota. We understand the current financial situation and recognize the priority will be for all personnel to be maintained to ensure the livelihood of our people. But as we plan ahead to prepare to effectively manage our government and ensure services be provided, I implore this body to heed our call for help to provide parity for our municipality in comparison to our neighboring islands. We have made many strides in our office to overcome the hurdles faced since we entered this administration. We have cleared about 90% of our outstanding liabilities, with the exception of our utility bills, but we remain frugal and committed to addressing them. We have been extremely focused on getting our projects in order that include those approved by FEMA and under the Public Assistance Office, as well as projects covered under CIP and grant projects awarded by various federal grantors, such as the Office of Insular Affairs and the Northern Marianas Housing Corporation. Granted, we do have issues that we need to address, but we are taking them a day at a time. This has kept us busy and focused to build a better Rota. With regard to the budget for our municipality of Rota, I kindly ask for your consideration to maintain the number of personnel currently employed under my office. Although our office is allocated 110 FTEs, I presently have 106 employees. The governor's proposed budget listed 103, but this does not include the 3 FTEs that were being routed. I humbly ask to maintain the status quo to ensure that all our employees will be maintained throughout the next fiscal year. With the notice to all government agencies that from CUC to convert all postpaid accounts to prepaid meters, this will be a major challenge for our municipality. This fiscal year, we were not allotted any funding for utilities, so we have had to rely on other accounts to keep us afloat. We want to thank Governor Palacios and Lieutenant Governor Atherton for including monies under the utility account in the budget proposal for fiscal year 2025, but that will not be enough for what the municipality absorbs. We have been working with the Office of Grants Management to incorporate and continue to look for funding sources to move towards renewable energy for not only private citizens, but for the government buildings as well. This is still ongoing. With that said, I humbly ask for the support of this body to allow flexibility and suspend all restrictions regarding all our revolving accounts, and that allow the respective expenditure authorities the ability to utilize the funds for operational expenses for this upcoming fiscal year 25. The support of our legislatures with this amendment has empowered our office to be able to provide services and create programs for our youth and our general public. The governor's proposal did not include funding under operations account, but by allowing each respective expenditure access and flexibility to use our revolving accounts, we will be able to address our need for fuel, communications, office supplies, etc. We humbly ask to continue with this support until we are able to find other sources of funding that can replace this stream of income. We have had many of our island residents leaving our beautiful home because it has been too difficult and too expensive to live here. By July, I can list about 17 of our residents who will be departing our home. Many of our people, although they do subsidize their living, it is not enough to allow them to dream and invest in opportunities that will enhance their livelihoods. I humbly ask for the continued collaboration of our government, autonomous and federal agencies to share information and grant opportunities to all municipalities, as well as share resources accordingly to all islands. Our people are resilient and can overcome this, but we have to work together to find a compromise. We can come up with an action plan that will help address all concerns and needs of each respective island. It will take time, but so long as we are transparent, communicate effectively with one another, things definitely can get done. I want to thank the support of our central government under the leadership of Governor Palacios and Lieutenant Governor Appleton, our CNMI legislators who have been instrumental in providing assistance with our various requests throughout this fiscal year. I would also like to thank our Rota leadership, all my colleagues, the mayors of each respective islands, all my resident department heads, their employees, and my hardworking staff for their endless support and patience. It has been a difficult challenge, but we have relied on one another for support and have moved mountains to make things happen. With the very limited resources available, we are able to manage providing services. We have addressed our outstanding liabilities, and we will continue to execute plans to build a stronger, more vibrant community. But we want to do more, and we cannot do it without the help of this body. We hope that you will take the time to consider all requests made by me and my resident department heads. And with that said, I am ready to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you, Mayor Aubrey, for that. Yes, can we get I noted the 3 FTEs that are currently routed, so just, I guess, we need that information, because not only your department, other departments are going through the same experience where they're being routed now, this fiscal year, they won't be included, so we just need to know that. And so if your finance officer can work with our financial analysts so that we can put a note there. With regards to your administration, I just have 2 questions. Last fiscal year, the Ways and Means and the Fiscal Affairs allowed 100,000 to come to Rota. We just need to know how was that spent and where was that spent, because we gave extra funding. I think Senator Donald wanted that funding to come here because of the limited resources you guys have.
Yes, thank you for that, Chairman, and this body. The municipality absorbs all utilities, all communication lines, and the fuel for majority of the departments. The only ones who are able to finance themselves are the ones with revolving accounts. But our continued breakdown with that 100,000 every month was about 10,000. Our monthly expense for fuel alone is about $5,000, and this covers my office. This covers the Rota liaison because they are there to transport patients, and we do not receive any support from CHCC in regards to fuel. Many of our patients do travel to Saipan to seek medical care because the clinic here is unable to provide those necessary services. We also provide fuel to the majority of the respective departments. There are only a few who do have revolving accounts where they fund their own communication lines, fuel, etc. So that's regarding fuel. Regarding communications, we pay about $4,000 per month. And what we have done is many of our departments had outstanding bills, and some of them were disconnected. So we had to clear all these bills, all these outstanding liabilities for them to be able to continue their operations. Outside of that, we also, of course, we want to provide services to our people. There is a need for office supplies, there's a need for the programs that we execute, and this body, not only with that 100,000, but by allowing us the flexibility to use our revolving accounts, we were able to execute many of those programs that we have shared and have offered our community here.
Thank you for that. Maybe that's something we can adjust. Well, with regards to your utilities last fiscal year, because the administration is allowing another 250,000 this year, first time. So are you alluding to say you want the flexibility of the utilities, because that's the only thing we can actually, play with regards to moving things around, is the flexibility of the utilities, because I'm not sure how the utilities was paid last fiscal year, or this fiscal year.
So, Mr. Chairman, and members of this body, the 250,000, it's not gonna cover the monthly expense, the total annual expense that we have for the municipality. If I may share that we do have outstanding for the various departments that are still under post-paid. What we've done with some of the fundings that were available is we advance pay all the way to the end of the fiscal year for the prepaid accounts. That way we can, because we were able to track our usage for the various departments that are on the post or the prepaid meters. And so we identify the funding that would cover them to the end of the fiscal year. But our issue will be is once, because COC has given notice that they will convert all post-paid accounts to prepaid meters. Of course, that requires funding upfront, and many of our department buildings, for example, my office, on an average is about $9,000 to $10,000. Recently, it's been down to $7,000. That's because our air conditioning is not working. And so once they shift into that plan, we will not be able to afford to cover our utilities. But that's why we're really aggressively trying to collect data for grant funding. I know that there's been a push for Rota for the solar pole, and sadly that did not, it didn't come to life. But I know OGN is working hard to find other sources of funding. And so we are working on doing that.
Okay, I'll put a note to that. With regards to your, are you referring to your special account under your mayor's office? Is that you want the flexibility there? Or?
Yes, the tobacco funds is what specifically I'm alluding to. With the Heavy Trust Fund, I do know I've been working closely with my congresswoman here. Although she did provide a certification, on our end, it's still a certification that there is funding available, but on our end, it's still showing a negative account. We are trying to work close with OMB and our finance department to see, where the disparity is or the discrepancy is. But we are heavily reliant on our tobacco funds to cover our shortage for not only my office, but the other departments.
Okay. Under this special fund, I'm not sure if you have that, that was submitted and, with the budget request. I'm looking at, like, let's say your office and there is available, for example, 166,000 for all other expenses under your office. Is that accurate? And is that number that, are you asking for flexibility as far as, because what we can act on is what's before us. We're not sure if it's a true, dollar amount.
It's not a true dollar amount. In front of me, I do have an accurate count of what is available to us. But yes, the general ask would be flexibility for that to cover any and all operational expense.
Okay. Let me recognize our representative. Maybe she can ask I'll give her I have other questions, but I'll give her the floor to interrogate, maybe not interrogate.
We welcome questions. We welcome questions.
Rep. Judy, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Ayumo. Good morning, Mayor Aubrey, Dean, and the rest of your staff that are here today. I know that we've, discussed several things that you want to, address what you did in front of the committee here. The only thing that I have some questions on is, for example, I know that your office has been paying the previous arrears of the, then there. And it's just unfortunate that it's so difficult and, a lot of challenge moving forward, trying to improve our livelihood here on our island. Because I'm also a chairwoman for Commerce and Tourism, I'm just curious, how much have MBA allocated to your office as far as this fiscal year?
So I know that they have deposited two, I believe twice, but because there was a negative account, we had to offset. We were really trying to negotiate with Secretary of Finance to see if we could, partially pay off what was due and be able to have access to the remaining funds. There's a lot of things that we'd like to do here, and that monies is definitely going to address that. But sadly, we had to clear the outstanding before we are able to access. So I believe our current balance is about negative 4,000 right now, negative 4,693.17.
So, NDA, how much have they allocated, not including, the arrears? I know they deducted from the, all those debts from the previous year.
Yeah, so I do know there was one deposit of about, I believe, 15,000.
And that's only twice
Yeah,
this year so far?
to my knowledge, yes.
So 15,000 was the other amount?
I believe it should be around the same. I don't have the deposits in front of me, but.
But that's after they deduct the arrears?
Yes, and so after both of those deposits, we are still at a negative,
Okay.
4,693.
So is that 15,000 quarterly, or because it seems like it's quarterly?
I would think so, yes. And I know we have had the discussion where if there was a certified document shared with you, but on our end, it still shows as a negative. So we're not able to access that, and we're very hopeful that the next deposit will allow us some flexibility.
Have they ever given you assistance aside from the allocation, like maybe fuel or other means of assistance for your operations? As far as, collaborating and maybe cleaning up some of the tourist sites, historical sites, or whatever.
So NBA, they already have a designated tourist site that they maintain, and so that's that partnership that we have. They do support many of our programs that we have hosted recently throughout the years. So they do serve as sponsorships and provide some funding to help us address the financial needs to execute those plans.
Do they support or funded the Gallica Festival?
Yes, they shared some funding. They were a sponsor. Yes.
How much did you?
I believe it was 5,000.
I know that I mentioned this before, we started the meeting today is, I'm looking at your list of personnel salary in your department or your office. And the minimum is 16,000. And it's heartbreaking for me to look at that. That's what we're asking for them. I'm not saying that we're gonna, I'm not asking to take funds from other senatorial districts, but I would like to request this committee to consider, increasing each, those employees that are from 16,000, 17,000, 18,000 to a couple thousands more because of the cost of living in Rota is, exorbitant. And as you can see, I'm sure all of you have been to our stores, corned beef spam has doubled the price. Imagine, a person of this taking home 16,000 per annum minus tax and all that, you're looking at only $600 or more bi-weekly. And I'm pretty sure they're probably getting some assistance from the NAT, but then still, that's still not enough to cover the gas. Imagine, minimum wage is $7.25, they're taking home $7.69 per hour, austerity kicked in also. So they're basically utilizing 1 gallon of gas probably per day just to get back and forth from work. So, with all due respect, I would like to request this body to please consider, looking at, possible increase in this personnel salaries. Also, that $250,000 that you're looking at offering, what is that for? Is that the street lights? It sounds like it.
So the 250 that's allocated for utilities for the next fiscal year. We do have a breakdown of various departments and their monthly average, but it does, our utility bill does include the street lights, yes.
Okay.
And may I just add, Congressman, thank you for that comment about, raising the salary. And this is the parity that we are, that I speak about and advocate for our people here. Again, living on Rota is very expensive, and many people, 17 people living on our island, that's a lot. Our population is less than 1,800 here on Rota. And the more that people leave, it's going to be very, very difficult to build and progress here. And that's definitely something we don't want. We understand they move for greener pastures, but by even doing that makes a world of a difference to these families. And it will allow them the opportunity to even think about investing, think about opening small businesses, because that's what's going to help trigger and ignite our economy here. Many of our people are very talented, very skillful. They just need that opportunity, and many people are very hesitant, currently to take on any business loans or even venture into the business arena because they don't have any flexibility for it. So thank you for that recommendation, and that really would be a big help. And I assure you, if that funding is available, we will be more than happy. I'm pretty sure my budget officer will be really quick to increase their salaries, and that would be a really, really big help for our people here. So thank you.
And you mentioned that all departments are, the government's looking at converting them all to prepaid, right?
Yes.
I know that you've requested in the past if they can, consider DPS, those essential departments like DPS, fire, to remain on postpaid. That still remains correct.
Well, no, DPS, some of the buildings are already on prepaid. So they are the ones that, remember I shared earlier that we have advanced purchased. We've funneled money in to make sure that these meters are running until the end of this.
And you said it's covered all the way to the end.
All the way to the end.
And that's included.
Yes.
Okay. Chairman, that's all for now.
Thank you, Rep. Julie. Any members? Members are, maybe a question to the, your financial, students, I thought you.
Josh
Cowell. With regards to the special fund, now, can we get a verification of the, because when we're looking at this, when you submit this, we think we can spend this. And right now your office has, I guess, almost 300,000 in special funds. So we're trying to get a clear answer as to what can be spent here. I mean, also not just send an amount here and it's not there. So we want to get a clear, I guess, answer with regards to the balances.
I can provide, I have a sheet here, I'm not sure if we will make copies, but I do have, I can just give an overview summary.
Just give us a snapshot.
So there are a lot of fundings available here for the special accounts that were allocated by our Rota legislative delegation to address many of our infrastructure needs. So we do have some accounts that are to address the renovation and construction of some facilities here. Under the tobacco funds, we utilize this as we have available balance of about 53,000 here in this account. So this is really where this is our saving grace for any fuel needs, communication needs, et cetera. We do have, after working with the Secretary of Finance, Tracy Rota, and I want to thank and applaud her and her team. We were able to, after their assessment and audit of the Rota funds, identify, after moving around some billings and duplications of some ARPA funds. And this was the account that we used to clear the outstanding liabilities. Majority of our vendors have been paid pending 3 vendors, but wish to have large outstanding accounts. And so we're processing that through the proper channels, through procurement. Mr. Brian is helping us address that. We do have accounts with the Rota Municipal Scholarship, and this one is catered to our students. We definitely want to promote and encourage them to seek higher education so that they can attain certifications, degrees, skills, and come back and serve our community. That's where the major funding sources are at. We have 2 accounts here under the municipal scholarship. These have large amount items of about, one is at 60,000, the other is at, that's 50,000. And so the remaining are really catered towards the infrastructure projects that I mentioned earlier. Under tobacco with 53, MBA at negative 4,000. That's really the only accounts that we have. Under ARPA, we do have about 50,000 available, but this is where we would like to purchase some items that will really help address saving fuel. We really prioritize the cleanliness and beauty of our island, and so we'd like to purchase smaller vehicle that's gonna help us mobilize easier. And then everything else is really just saving for fuel and other needs that not only my office, the municipal council, or the departments, the requests they may have, this is what we use to address that.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I guess we just gotta work with the delegation to see the priorities again on, I'm not sure how flexible the fund is. These are existing laws that has funding balance. I know we struggle with that too with our local delegation where we're trying to move funds around to as well and try to address priorities. So maybe that's something that Rep. Julie can look at and with the delegation as to, help fund other things that's very needed here. No? So I'll leave that. I don't want to get into too detail with the delegation funds. Let me recognize Rep. Forrest Nurse.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Rep, for assisting us. Me and Ms. Rep. Julie struggle with overextending for this microphone, so I appreciate your assistance. Thank you, Mayor, and for your team for being here. Your opening statement obviously is a reflection. As we arrived yesterday, it's a very dire situation in which the people of Rota and the island of Rota is currently placed. We do empathize with the people of Rota. Although we share the same issues, I think it's very, very transparent here that it is, as much as it's the same, it's very different. So I, again, thank you for that opening statement. In no way am I here to scrutinize, the ability. I believe that you are a very exemplary mayor. You've been doing a very good job for a first-time mayor. So I congratulate you on that. I think your people have made the right choice. And I think you're doing a wonderful job, considering the circumstances that you have inherited and now are faced with. And one of the things that I want to point out is the liabilities that you inherited. It's unfortunate that you inherited that, and now you're left with pleading, almost begging to survive because of lack of transparency and maybe lack of leadership. But that's been done. You're trying to remedy that situation now. I guess my first question is, Mayor, is I noticed on the audit report that was provided just recently by OPA on March 20, 2024, the Department of Finance, Cash Antonian and Rota were also flagged as having several discrepancies. And it does indicate that there were 7 findings for the island of Rota. And I'd just like to know if you can give us an update. Have they been remedied? Have recommended? Obviously, the recommendations are there. Has there been any attempt to rectify the 7 citations?
Yes, and thank you for that. My resident department head for Department of Finance, Mrs. Avery Cowell, has responded to OPA and have given assurances that a lot of those issues will be rectified. In fact, she's already have made some changes, and when she is faced with you, she can answer you in detail.
I think that's, as long as it's being addressed, I think that's important. How your municipality manages and, moves forward in addressing those recommendations. I have full faith that you will lead your team into doing what is fair and what is balanced. So no one knows Rota more than you guys. My next question is, I noticed you made a comment on CHCC, and we know that there are many problems that your community is faced with in regard to services and access to healthcare. So you send your, I guess, consumers, clients, patients out to the CNMI. And with that, and you have your Rota liaison there to be the front line to assist your people as they're there. But you mentioned that CHCC has not supported the liaison in providing gas or any assistance to that particular agency?
If I may just provide just some context. So it is because there's a lot of confusion amongst our people about whose responsibility is to do what. And of course, with the limited services here in Rota, CHCC has, through the medical referral office, sent patients to Saipan. Of course, CHCC is responsible for the transportation, the housing accommodation, et cetera, for patients. But what has happened for the past administrations is the mayor's office, not only Rota, but inclusive of Tinian, has provided employees, personnel to help bridge these needed services, because I guess CHCC was very overwhelmed. Just recently, because we do have many patients, less than 20, well, a few have gone laid to rest, but they seek dialysis on Saipan, and so of course it's very difficult for them to return. And our facilities at Aslito, and this is an MOA between NMHC and the municipalities of Rota and Tinian, NMHC has allowed our patients to reside, and this is the facility in Aslito. And so with the help of the Rota legislative delegation, they were able to provide some funding for us to renovate the facility. Prior to that, many of our patients have been living at Sunshine Garden, and they charge a large amount of money monthly for our patients to reside there. And of course, CHCC, with their limited resources, they have informed the municipality that that we would have to incur those housing costs. And so we've somewhat come to a compromise where we've asked for time for us to renovate the facility, to shift and move patients from Sunshine to the Aslito facility so that we can remove those costs. And so we're able to do that right now. We are fully, with the exception of one room, we are fully housed. Our patients, many of them have moved to the Aslito facility. And what I mean by that, it's not that they don't support, but we just want to make clear that My office, because this is not really allocated in our funding, but we do cover that because we do need to help our people. We need to help our patients. They don't want to live there. It's not their choice to live there. And we definitely want to ease their burden and be as helpful as we possibly can. But we just want to highlight that, without the necessary assistance, it's very difficult for us to continue to serve. And again, with the help of delegation, they're able to provide that funding to bridge the financial costs to them.
Okay, and I think that's something we can, work with our colleague, and also with CHCC, figure out at least once and for all, who's responsible for what, so that the appropriation is designated for that purpose, right, which is access to healthcare. How many people do you employ overall in the municipality?
106.
And how many of them are civil service?
Oh, for the municipality, 200 and
The entire,
we have 227.
and how many are civil service?
Minus the 106, we have 121.
Okay, and then everybody else is accepted service?
Yes.
I'm looking through your budget, and that 250,000 that was spoken about on the other expenses of the mayor of Rota, I suppose that's for CUC and other payments that, that gives you that flexibility to pay. So that was gonna be one of my questions, but you made that very clear. On the Municipal Council of Rota, and again, we're trying to find ways, at least for me, I'm trying to help find ways to free up some money so that you can best provide for your community at this time. I'm only asking certain questions only because if it allows that flexibility, then that's something maybe we can consider. So the Municipal Council of Rota, the submission, your department or their department submission shows 20,000 for travel expenses and 5,000 for office supplies. Is portions of this 20,000 paying for also medical referral, or is this just within the council themselves?
Just for the council.
And is this just for inter-island travel?
I apologize, Congressman, you would have to ask them. I'm not sure what their plan is with that.
All right, and I'll ask them that question. Okay. So the Department of Finance, at your office down there with the former NMC, how many agencies are in there?
So in the current mayor's office, this is the former Rota Public Library. We have only my office and a division of Department of Finance. We used to house OPM, but as of last week, because of the intense heat that's there, they had to relocate down to the old high school.
Okay,
So
that's all right, and I'm asking because you show a rental expense of 30,000.
So that's the Department of Finance. So currently they are renting with DOTEN, they're built in here. But we have plans to relocate them here at the courthouse. And so this is to rent them away with the court.
Do you see that? And that's good. I was just telling Rec Flores, I said, if that's the case, we should just take this courthouse back and put all your entire government here. It could fit, right? It's a very nice building, but don't tell the judges that, because they'll be upset.
Well,
I'm sure they're watching that as a thing.
They're very supportive, and so they understand. Currently, we do have DPS here,
Okay.
and so you're gonna include Department of Finance.
And then also again, there's travel expenses of 55,000. Is this for inter-island travel?
Is this under Department of Finance?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that our RD has always advocated for trainings. I know that for sure, but you can ask her directly and she can specify.
Sorry. And then revenue and tax, also travel expenses, 50,000, office supplies, 3,000, operational supplies, 5,000. Are these again inter-island travel?
I know that one of the priorities that RD Cabo advocates for is proper training. And whether that be inter-island or, outside the Marianas, there's good intention to, sharpen the skills and knowledge of our employees so that they can better provide services.
Maybe one of the things I could suggest is maybe on the object code, put it under training, because then it becomes, you can advocate more, because then you have an end goal. Right now, it's only showing travel expenses, so of course, as you're scrutinizing this, you're wondering why this big amount for travel, and what are the outcomes of these travel? Is it gonna benefit the people, or is it just gonna benefit a single person, right? That always has to be considered, so take a look at that, and that's maybe something, I guess you could talk to OMB, is maybe reclassify that on the object code and put it under training, because then that's more, you can get the buy-in more as opposed to just travel expenses. And again, the same is for customs and custom service Rota, but I'm assuming it's about training, so. On operational supplies, you show, it's indicated here, the budget for the, area is 300,000. What does that cover?
So I'm not sure if that's gonna include purchase of vehicles, because that is something that our RD has addressed. And again, when she comes before this body, you can and ask her directly, but there are equipment needs, there are materials that the Department of Finance would like to have. Again, this is a request for them to function efficiently. Here at Rota we really need to protect our borders, and the employees of the Department of Finance have done a great job, superb job doing that. But of course, we need to arm them with the proper equipment and materials for them to effectively do their job.
Okay, so again, as you're looking at your budget, you might want to go back and look at the object code, because it does show as operational supplies. But when you talk about operational supplies, you're talking about pen, paper clips. When you're talking about that type of, I guess, purchase, right, it should be classified somewhere else, maybe a capital item, machinery, because you're showing on capital assets, on your budget is 0, then you're showing machinery 5,000. Then you have vehicles at 120,000, which seems correct, right? You can justify that. But when you're looking at the object code and you're seeing 300,000 for operational supplies, but we know in customs there's a difference of authority and function when you're talking about seaport and you're talking about airport, right? And when you're looking at the 300,000, we know there's no flights coming in here. So what is that 3,000 supposed to do? So maybe go back and talk to OMB and see where you can reclassify that so that it fits appropriately on the object code, and that you can best advocate for what you need to improve your services and protect your borders.
Thank you for that. We'll take that note and be sure to address that for the future.
So, and then my last one is, again, travel expenses for sports and recreation, Rota. Is that for training, or what is that for?
Yeah, so one of the things here, or one of the things that we lack in here is opportunity for children. And we do not have the facilities or the people who are experts or are certified to be able to teach our children. And so whether that be to bring people in or to train our personnel here so that they can understand and they can learn and be advocates to promote variety of sports here on Rota for their children. So that may be part of that.
Okay, maybe one thing you can consider, since PSS is requesting for the 25%, take a look at your staff here in PSS and leverage, and maybe offer them an incentive for the summer program, where they can either, train the trainer programs and provide some kind of incentives for your sports and recreational team. Maybe certify them in certain areas where you don't need a professional degree, but you have enough of hours to where you can get certified to be providing all this stuff. And, we're just trying to maximize as much money we can where we can find it to best fit your needs. I think for me, I will yield. Those were the ones that were obviously striking. I'll save my second round of questions after everyone else has a chance. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate your time. I yield.
Thank you. Thank you, Rep. Flores. We have next, we'll have Rep. Manning and Rep. Sabon.
I'll move to
Rep. Sabon.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, Mayor and Aubrey. Just to clarify that the three that is in process already, those positions, what are those positions already?
So they are community workers, Congressman?
And those are perhaps more than 50% in the process already
Yes.
into occupied positions. I think it's important because that we occupy this position because the governor's proposal for the total is 103, which is I think it's best that we feel that on this fiscal year and make sure that that should be included in the deliberation and this upcoming fiscal year. With regards to your share, municipality share from NBA, supposedly you guys are both Kenya and Rota should be receiving actually total for this fiscal year somewhat over 200,000. So far you said you have only received how much from NBA thus far?
So to my knowledge, it should not be, because that account was at a negative about 40,000. So it should have been less than that because we're still negative. Yeah, but we have received deposits, but we have to offset what was in the account.
Okay, and then the tobacco special accounts that you have, that's the 53K is fairly flexible when you use it to help your operation. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you. And this is as a result of the body last fiscal year, so
Yes.
thank you.
And then I'll reserve my questions because there are for the other chair on the other departments. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Rep. Sabon. Rep. Castro.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Mayor, for your time and assistance throughout our state. Thank you for your team. I'm not really gonna talk too much about certain line items here because I know that you're doing a lot with the limited resources that you have, and you've been very upfront with how you're addressing those issues. And I just wanted to commend you and your municipality for, although you weren't responsible for a lot of the shortfalls, but you are addressing it and taking care of business, especially when it comes to the businesses that are owed money from government services. So one thing I just wanted to ask is, in addition to the budget, there's several revenue generating bills that we did introduce, and the concept, for example, the Digital Economy Advancement Bill. Driving through Song, there's a lot of abandoned buildings. With challenges, there's also opportunities. And if we really look at and some of those buildings, really good structure, right? It just needs a little payment. But for example, in terms of the Digital Economy Advancement Bill, I think that's HB 103, the goal is to exempt taxes for digital services that are provided, right? And, we have limited resources here on Rota, but human capital is the #1 asset. So for example, let's say Rota is the heart of language, right? Our Chamorro language. If we had more of our people here on Rota being language consultants and exporting that, like let's say to Guam or CNMI, that knowledge, even the Chamorro dictionary was really based out of an author from Rota with a partnership with the University of Hawaii. So all these other, there's a lot of money being made but the root of where that came from is here. So the concept is really, I look for your support in these types of initiatives that maybe not a lot of people would realize the impact it's going to make, but with digital economy advancement, you can have virtual offices here in the abandoned buildings, and they can utilize the USPS service here on Rota, but they can headquarter their business here. So yes, there's a lot of challenges, but there's also a lot of opportunities. It's also opportunities that can possibly bring back a lot of our residents that are overseas in the mainland and give them something to look forward to. And I know that's within your municipality's strategy. But the other one was we also had a bill introduced to transfer the enforcement of litter, the litter law to the municipality. Every time I visit Rota, I see how well the roads are maintained despite, again, limited infrastructure, but the grass is always cut like beyond the pole, and, so maybe some of that travel can be, your workers from Saipan bringing that skill to, workers from Rota bringing that skill to our other islands, but, just some cross-training. But there's a lot of bills that we have in the House that are really designed to benefit the Commonwealth as a whole. But in some cases, for example, with the litter, transferring that enforcement to the municipality, so that way all that revenue can go to the municipality, because at the end of the day, the municipality is the one that's here, is cleaning it up. So some things maybe we want to keep it centralized, but on the things that really root issues, decentralization might be a better route, like things like procurement and NOPAs. So look forward to continue to work with you and our representatives from the other senatorial districts to kind of help with these legislations that are going to help the budget and the bottom line. Thank you again for you and your team, and look forward to meeting with you all after.
Thank you, Reverend Manny. If you want to respond.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Thank you for that, Congressman, and really all the credit goes to our hardworking team, not only at the mayor's office, but with the collaborative departments that assist. We want to always encourage our people to take pride in our island, and we hope that that's evident, and, your comment is helping support that. We support, digital tourism. We definitely recognize their need to be on the digital map. And we know that many of our residents are talented, very skillful with their knowledge, what they learned from their parents, grandparents, and that can be, a source of income for them. So thank you for that, and we look forward to, and we'll definitely express our support. And with the littering, yes, please, that is something that will be another source of income for the municipality, as we do take on majority of the maintenance and maintenance issues. So thank you for that, Congressman.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Marissa has a follow-up.
Thank you, Chairman, and yes, I do. Mayor, in regard to Rep. Julie's question regarding MPA, I share the same vision with her, and I think we agree that Rota has been neglected in terms of the mission for MBA marketing Rota. And if there's any funds that we could, as a body, allocate for the purpose to promote Rota outside of entrusting this component to an agency that I feel has neglected nor has provided zero outputs and accomplishments when it comes to marketing your island. So if there was an avenue for funds to be allocated to the mayor for flexibility to market itself in terms of tourism, business, because we know it's just not tourism right now. The canvas of the world has changed. You can use that for many things to possibly encourage businesses to move here for whatever purpose this municipality deems fit. Will you support that?
Yes, but I'd also just like to state, because, you know, the MBA team here in Rota, they've been very, very hardworking and very, they've been a partner to our office. So I don't want to disregard their efforts, right? We do collaborate with many of our projects and programs, so I do wanna, share that.
Okay, I mean, we're not taking anything from the MBA Rota here, right? What we're saying is, here's the top number, they pay for the personnel, but you're included in this package. Whatever allocation here is deemed for Rota, and it's possible to just take that and say, here, MBA Rota, here you go and market yourself, because it's been tried and it hasn't worked. But now we're gonna test and allow the people of Rota to market themselves as a community, as collaborative partners, but at least now you have a seat at the table to say that is not going to work. But if we could continue having your MBA here, and there's an avenue to tap into funds to give that freedom and flexibility to the municipality through the resident agent to market Rota, will you support that?
Yes. May I just add that our market, and we've always shared that, you know, we appreciate, you know, the foreign market, but for Rota, because of our proximity to Guam, that really is where we would like to welcome and invite more tourists. I just want to also disclose and give applaud and give credit to Guam Visitors Bureau for their assistance when we visited their office, the former governor, Gutierrez and his hardworking team. They were able to connect with us and assist us and really open a lot of doors and opportunities for us, connecting with the military, the MWR group, and who will be visiting Rota to see how we can package that. And this is a great thing for our local businesses, and I hope that it will attract many of our residents to open more businesses, because people say, yes, Rota is so beautiful, but after you tour the sites, how else can we make them spend money? So we need to encourage our local people to open businesses, because that is definitely what's going to trigger and move us ahead towards generating locally here.
And I think that is all part of this beautiful package, right? We just seem to silo tourism and we're just going to concentrate on one area. But when you're talking about the marketing perspective, that's a promotion. A marketing perspective is different. Rota is not like Saipan. Rota is not Tinian. Rota is Rota. And no one can market Rota than the people of Rota themselves. So if you are open to that, and if that's something this body could, look into and consider within the legalities of the law, I would completely advocate that whatever allocations or percentages based on their budget and whatever they piecemeal Rota as far as the package, I totally support that the people of Rota and at least MBA with the mayor should be given that autonomy and flexibility to market themselves. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
Thank you, Representative Teresa. Really nice of you. Any other members? Joe Flores. Everyone here. Just a clarification and maybe just a concern is why is CUC mandating you to convert to prepaid?
So this was at the request of the governor. They received a memo that they would like to start converting. It's not just for Municipality of Rota, but I believe as a whole for the Commonwealth, that they're gonna start shifting to prepaid meters.
If I understand it, prepaid is the one that whenever it comes to you pay.
Yes, sir.
And I honestly, that's gonna be very hard if there's no funding in there and then it shuts down.
Very hard, Congressman, and that is why we recommended to Congresswoman for her to support, at least for the main enforcement agencies like defense and DPS, that they should maintain as a postpaid, because in the event that we do not have funding, and if there are no funds available to continue the meter, they will shut down, and how will our people have access to seek care if needed?
Actually, this year we should put it records that the essential officers, runs down some communication, there's nothing. This is very, very instrumental to the safety of the, yeah, that's one of them. Thank you, Joe Flores. Any, is that a follow-up, Rep? Yeah, go.
I just wanted to add on to what Rep. Flores mentioned about prepaid. Like, I'm on the same page with him. I think maybe for the pavilions, we can do prepaid, like things that our residents usually use, like for personal like parties and stuff, but not to put a government agency on that. Prepaid, you know, just in my opinion, it's gonna cost more, like, especially if you have to log in each time and load and keep loading and loading. Just the person to be paying for those tokens that's a cost already in itself. So, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work for any government agency that is that operates on regular business hours. But yeah, I share that sentiment, and we'll be working with our colleagues on helping you help everyone.
Thank you, Rep. Castro. Any further for the mayor's office?
Thank you, Chair, again. Thank you, Rep. Marisa, for that statement regarding the NBA fundings. Entrusting the Mayor of Rota, to utilize to the best of her ability to promote our island. And I believe we believe we can do it ourselves. And I think she's been doing a great job at it by reaching out to GVB. And I've shared my thoughts about it with you, and I appreciate the fact that you agree with me on that part. And through Public Law 18-1, it stated, that both senatorial is allocated 2% or 400,000, whichever is higher. And I know that it's been suspended for a couple of fiscal years, and I believe that, we hope that doesn't happen again, but if there is a deliberation that it will be suspended, I strongly, urge this body to consider, not suspending those allocations for each senatorial district in order for us to promote our island, because tourism right now is our main revenue generating. And, like the mayor said, with the limited resources that we have, we're very appreciative of GBB and Former Governor Gutierrez for extending their hands out to us and, helping us try to promote our island through, military academies and whatnot, personnel from Guam coming to our island, and we want to prepare for that. So I hope that this body will consider that in the deliberation. Thank you, Mayor and staff, for coming.
Thank you, Rep. Julita. Is that a motion to? Being there's no further questions, you just go this way. So just the 3 positions that needs to be taken care of, that's currently routed right now, and everybody is working. Okay. I didn't know that, just making sure. answer the question or ask the questions my fiscal analyst recommend. So with that being there's none. Thank you, Mayor, again for making yourself present. I know we have other departments coming in today and then with municipal council. So with that, thank you very much for giving us your time and your budget requests. We did note your request and of course the question of the 250,000. We understand that this past fiscal year you were the one that's paying everything. I'm not sure which account it's coming from, and I know we had a brief conversation with the chair of the fiscal of the Senate that the flexibility there might be something we're looking at to allow the mayors from each district or islands to be flexible and that way they can, if they get conserved, the funds can be flexible in other ways. So with that, thank you again, Mayor, and I'll give you the floor if you want to have a closing remark. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I just really want to say thank you for your time as well, your presence, and for really hearing and listening to what we have to share. And you know, I speak also for my resident department heads. We have been very, very thankful for all the assistance, not only this body, but the central government has provided alongside with the Department of Finance. It's been a struggle, but we take it a day at a time and we can definitely address all our concerns moving forward. So thank you, Chairman, honorable members of this body. We appreciate you, so thank you.
Thank you again, Mayor. And with that, we'll take a short recess and we'll come back in 5 minutes, right? Thank you, members. next in the agenda is the Municipal Council of Rota. And before us, we have Councilman Jim. Now open the floor for your opening statement. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Honorable Chairman and honorable members of this body. For the record, my name is Jim Michael Atwood, and I'm Chairman for the 19th Rota Municipal Council. And again, the mayor mentioned earlier, thank you for giving us this opportunity to be in front of you, and for you to hear our concerns and issues here in Island of Rota.
Thank you, Councilman Jim. Let me give way to our representative from Rota. She has the floor. She's the honorary chairman. Rep. Judy.
Chairman, can I yield to the next reference? I'm just going through my notes here because I kind of got lost with the municipal opinion.
Thank you. Okay, so Councilman, just so that the body's aware, I guess the one position that is lost is that a position that's you're requesting 9, administration proposed 8. So is that a position that is I guess vacant or it's?
I believe, I heard that the government proposal, they reduced our FTEs down to, from 9 down to 8. But, we really need the FTE because the services we provide to our community, it's demand that we, put our staff out there to provide the services. And the other thing, you don't guarantee 1 staff, 2 staff on a daily basis, Sometimes you're out sick or what, and you're left with 1. So we have to have alternate, based on our staff. Mr. Chair.
I guess my next question would be, was that a position that's lost during the budget submittal process, or this was vacant from the past? I mean, prior to submittal of the budget.
I believe it was vacant and the unfunded position.
Then normally, if there is a vacant, and I believe ODS, they have done is, if it's vacant, they just dollar the amount, leaving the position open, and then should there be additional funds either from the delegation and so forth, then you can fill up the position. So is that something you're requesting now, the position to be there?
Yes, please, if you guys can, help us out and give us, fund that position, for.
Or unfunded,
To fund the position, whereas unfunded, but
Yeah.
to fund it.
But right now, it depends on what we can look at with the submitter. I know Rep. Judy requested 2 positions that needs to be funded. So we're gonna try, but at least having the position there and should funding be available, the beginning of next fiscal year, at least gives you an opportunity to fund the position. So that's something that we can do from our side. The funding of the actual position that was lost with the actual funds, that's going to be something that we're going to have to try to look at and look at other departments and see what we can do. So for now, I'll put the note of the position to be there and put a dollar on it. So should the delegation find funds, I mean, you can request for that person to be funded, no?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
And then with regards to the municipal council, where are you housed now? Are you under the mayor's?
Yes, we're currently housing the old Rota High School.
And with regards to the utilities consumption over there,
Believe the mayor's taking care of that already.
do you have an estimate of yearly?
I don't have because, we're sharing the duty
Okay.
with other,
Oh, so there's
agencies,
other,
so, I haven't have any figure.
Noted. Thank you, members, let me recognize representatives. Chairman, let us move. Kailan mo tumawag? Welcome. It's the 9 na posisyon, no? Bigyan ng Municipal Council. Mautulo, no? Actually, Municipal Council na project sa
Okay, we have a lot of, immediate programs that we, assist in our community, such as as you say, youth basketball, fishing derbies, and in collaboration with the mayor, we are cleaning up the tourist sites, such as Alagon Bay. The roadside, we have the Italia, and we do maintenance, district basketball court, assisting the CNCA, and we're cleaning the Alagon Bay. Then we're cleaning the Malilu area, which we opened a new tourist site, which I know you guys are well, they picked up Lunar Rota. So, and the Japanese lookout, we're cleaning that for tourist sites.
Thank you, Chairman. Maganda di familiar dun no sa sign din sa Tulo. Anyways, your collaboration with our good mayor of Rota, to the question projects cleaning up sites and also, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Representative Nicholas. I believe Representative Flores Marissa has a concern, right? Rep. Flores.
Thank you, Chairman. I actually wanted to introduce myself first before I stated my concerns. So thank you for allowing me the time to do so. Thank you, sir. And again, I apologize to the mayor because I was asking her questions that should have been addressed to you. So my apologies. So I'm looking at your mission statement, and yeah, you are a charter council?
Yes. Rota even is chartered.
Okay. And it says that you will collaborate with the municipality of Rota to continue with services to promote the welfare of the people, expand the programs for your youth, to conserve and protect your environment, ensure the safety of your people, and promote the arts and the culture that represent your diverse community. So I guess I'd like to just understand that function, right? And you were talking about you have these activities for the youth, but there's also a sports and recreation component with Rota Mayor within your municipality, right? So can you just take me through this process? Like, here's your mission statement. What is it that you do as a charter? Is it where the mayor falls short on an activity, you kind of come in? Do you kind of assist with this funding source to promote programs where certain other agencies don't have the means to? I'm just trying to understand.
Yes, you're correct. What we do, we work collaboratively with the mayor and the departments we use the personnel to run our program to do this program, which is the baseball, softball, volleyball, and basketball tournaments, as well as the fishing derby and softball itself too, and the Visita Luta food and beer corn competition and coconut crab. Those are the programs that we're doing. We're not. With the mayor herself, she cannot reach out all these programs, so we take some program away from her, and we're the one that's spearheading these programs.
Thank you for the clarity. I wouldn't know unless you asked, right? So, sir, can you take me through your budget? Your department has requested $10,000 for dues and subscriptions. What is that for?
I believe that's where the telephone or phone line, right?
Dues and subscriptions? Okay,
That's the phone line. The only thing that we pay would be the office and our phone lines, the electricity or the power, the mayor's taking care of that.
okay.
Is what where we paid it at.
Okay, so again, and I guess, in terms of object code, just for clarity, check with OMB again, because this might actually fall under telecommunications, right? And as a category, you want to be able to make sure that it's in the right object code, because then, if someone comes in and wants to do a proposed, submission for your agency, they don't take it out and put it somewhere else, right? You want to be sure that it goes to the right object code, so that when you advocate for the support you need, it's justified, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then these travel expenses, it's 20,000. Can you explain?
First, for the travel, self-load itself, it's very expensive to travel to Saipan or to Guam. It costs like almost $400 flying United. But with the travel, we go on our official trips. We have the nonprofit organization. It's called the Pacific Alliance, where the OO3 member, like the senator district, the members will come together and discuss our issues. And in that way, we can work collaboratively and work together and help each other tackle our issues and each separate senator district.
Okay, do you think you can sacrifice some, are you mandated to go on these travel?
We asked for 20,000, but in the end, we have zero. Like right now, 2023, we have no funding. Very lucky that our good mayor is assisting us, but, we just put it in there. If we can give us 5,000, we're okay, right? You can ask more and get less. So we'll try.
And and again, I'm asking because does this involve maybe any child? Because you have a very strong collaborative partnership, and a lot of it is, or you mentioned that some of it are youth-based.
It depends. I'm sorry.
So I'm just wondering, in this category, would you include children to travel to go to, let's say, Guam or Saipan, or a group of children, since it's youth-based, to travel outside to compete on a competitive level through the council and, with one chaperone, right? Does that allow you, can this fall under that?
Yes, Congresswoman, you're correct in that. As a matter of fact, we used to have money, right? We assisted the Arts and Culture Rota, DCCA, they're not funding to drive outside, so we ended up, to promote our culture and they represent our diverse community, we help them, we share our flag with them. The students, we really want to help them, but unfortunately, we don't have anything, but, really, go on there, when it comes to kids, students, I want to build them, right? They're the future generation that will place each and every one of us in here. So we need to, keep them busy, keep them out of trouble,
And I agree. So maybe one of the things I can suggest to you, sir, since you're fully invested in the youth-based promotion of your community, maybe to, assist in the advocacy component is, take a look at what you have for the calendar. And if you want to involve some children, right, do that cost-benefit analysis and figure out what's going on with Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and maybe you can also leverage from PSS, right, to help support this. But I think if you concentrate on the youth-based advocacy component and you justify that to have maybe some kids, spend a summer program in Saipan or wherever, right, with a chaperone, and that can, aid in that. So, just to be creative, right, and think outside the box.
With that said, our kids here in Rota, right, every time they go to Saipan, they go to compete, right? Practice 3 days, right? We need to have this program team like Saipan or elsewhere, where from Aguta they can back to back and they can really learn how to perfect the basketball, baseball, or any sports, right? To say, mananong by track and field, we're expected to bring over something, but lacking of resources and to provide and help our youth to grow. It's just hard, I feel bad as a leader, right? To see them and say, yeah, we tried our best. Thank you, at least you have that experience to go out there and try. So us leaders, we looking down, our kids, man, but not for the wall, like from Mango, right? Our kids, our youth. So we need to, as a leader, honest, we need to come together and help our youth.
I agree, sir, wholeheartedly, and we all advocate for the success of all our children, you know, so I fully empathize and I understand. You show, you have fuel and lubrication for 15,000. How many cars do you have?
We have 1.5. Hand me down, I mean, we're lucky that the mayor gave us one working vehicle. But right now it's down because we're not funding to buy battery. If I can put double A battery, I'll put, but cannot.
Okay, sir, so with that said, and you are very, very strong on youth-based activities, is this vehicle being used to assist in the transportation of children?
Yes, two programs,
Okay, thank you.
total, we work on the entire community, that vehicles going around 24/7.
Got you. Thank you. And then the machinery obviously is, I'm assuming, chainsaws, bush cutters, of that nature.
Yes, correct, with that, Congresswoman, to answer most of the maintenance, the bush cutter. Right now, we have 2 bush cutter that are down, 2 chainsaws, and only 1 bush cutter is working right now, so not even to buy the parts, cannot, because we're not funding.
All right, and again, I guess for me, in terms of, you know, your mission and where you would like to be as far as outcome for 2025, concentrating on the youth base would be your most benefit right now. And we know that the mayor also needs your assistance in cleaning and upkeeping the community. But in terms of the charter municipality of Rota, I think if you take that to the next level and really use your mission statement to concentrate on the youth-based activities, you know, that would be the best advocacy you can do. Maybe, and hopefully there'll be some money available, but that is, you know, up to your legislator to assist in that advocacy. And I know that she's very supportive of all youth-based activities. And so I thank you for your time. I truly commend you on your work and the advocacy you do to promote youth-based programs and others. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Chairman. I yield my time.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you, Rep. Flores. Rep. G.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman for coming today. I have, you know, question marks on the questions that Rep. Marisa already addressed to you. But in line to some of them, for example, as far as the travel expenses, with the youth, you know, bringing them to Oak Island or whatnot, even on island, taking them around. I would like to see some kind of like a clinic, maybe a sports clinic. You know, your organization can, you know, implement, especially this summer. You know, like every summer, maybe have a sports clinic, and maybe try to reach out to that Northern Ireland Sports Association and, you know, work with them because they just got back. Is that correct? Or they are still in, is it Marshall Island? Marshall Island, and, you know, we really excel. You know, at least, you know, a lot of our athletes excel and, you know, got gold medals there. I think that, you know, we should encourage our youth here to participate in those kind of events, like, you know, off island. So, you know, that's something that you can probably work with the Saipan, you know, organization to include youth for Rota. Basically, I don't have anything right now. She answered that. She asked most of the questions. How many phone lines do you have?
We have only 1.
And internet?
Yes, correct.
Any cell phone?
No, we don't have any.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any further from the members? Rep. Angelo?
Thank you, Chairman. Morning, Chairman.
Morning.
My only question is, you mentioned earlier that you guys are in one building. How many agencies are all together?
Right now, we have the Gaming Commission, Rhino Bureau, what's it called, no, PSS,
The former high school?
yeah, yes, correct.
Oh, there's multiple, but is the bill
Yeah,
under
this work, and even Gaming Commission, this work.
So I'm assuming the bill's under one,
Yes, one.
and who's the partner, who's one of?
The mayor back here.
Oh, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
So, okay. Thank you, just. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo. Any further? I have none further. Councilman Jim, who tried to look for the funds and reinstate the one position that the council lost. So we put a note on that and we'll try to, I guess, see that other funding avenues that we can address that position. And being there's no further, thank you again, council, for making yourself present today with regards to the request. And with that, I will now hand over the floor back to you if you have any closing remarks.
Mr. Chairman and honorable members of this body, I just must say thank you for giving us the opportunity again to review our issues and hopefully, see how address what by community sa. And you true like the now that I'm led by OPF than penai operation sa dili na lang that also they by OPF kumalo na like the last of my ask the in facility reprogram the OPF actually told and there was nothing there thanks to a good mayor and to the feel and everything no and talo as just must sit and have a great day to everyone.
Thank you again, Councilman, and with that, we will recess until 1:30. We will have the Department of Finance as well as Department of Commerce and the Department of Labor for this afternoon. Thank you, members.